YouTube? This is 82 and 0. Welcome back. So, continuing on my series, How Good Would Players Be Today? Today I'm talking about Jerry West. Now, how good would Jerry West be in this modern era? I think, to be honest with everyone, he'd be very elite in this era. The reason I think this is a common argument that you hear against the era that he played in is they say guys weren't very efficient. Well, he shot 47% for his career, and this was an era where, you weren't rewarded for taking the outside shot. A lot of times guys would drive, and you had all these centers down low. So West was a very smart player. He knew how to take good shots, and he's a great free throw shooter. The highest he ever averaged from the field goal percentage was actually 51% as a point guard or shooting guard. That's another thing. Sometimes people will say he's a point guard, they'll say he's a shooting guard. I kind of look at him as both. But I think if he played today, he could do either position. But I think with the way he plays, particularly in his distributing, how good of a playmaker he was. Like, for example, in the 72 season, he averaged 9.7 assists. I think it'd be smart to have him as point guard. Now, he was a great outside shot. Obviously, they didn't have a three-point line back then, so it's not like he was taking all those outside shots, getting threes. But in this modern era, I don't think there's any reason why he wouldn't shoot 38 to maybe 40% from three. And also, an underrated aspect of his game is he was a five-time all defense. Although they didn't keep track of, or they didn't have the all defensive selections until 1969. So it's quite possible that he'd be like an 8-time, 9-time all defense because he was 30 years old when they started all defense. So you put him in today's league where it's more predicated on outside shooting, where he was already a scoring champ, he's an assist champion. And that's the thing, right? Like a lot of these modern fans, they like guys who can pass and shoot, Like they like LeBron for averaging all these assists and having scoring titles. So why don't a lot of these modern fans like what Jerry West brought to the table? I mean, he could do it all. He could score, he could defend. He was a good rebounder for his position. So I think if he played today, like in his original timeline, his season where he started was 1960-61, and he played up till 73-74. So like let's just say in the modern era, he's drafted in 2010, 2011, and he played up until now 21, 22. How good would he be? Well, I could see him being like a Steph Curry in that he's a point guard that's going to score a lot. But he'd be better than Curry on defense, obviously. And he was very clutch, not afraid to take the last shot. I could see him, if he was drafted to a good team, with his drive, with his killer instinct. I know he only won one championship, but you got to understand the context of the era that he played in. There wasn't a free agency. It wasn't like he could just go sign with another team. This man wanted to win. I could see him winning multiple championships, on a great team today, being the number one option, being kind of like a Steph Curry type player, especially with the way it's all guard driven today and you have scoring point guards, there is no reason in my mind why he wouldn't be great today. I could see him averaging, 25 to 30 points per game as his highest scoring, you know, 8, 9 assists per game, 45 rebounds, 2 steals. So I think West would be better in 2022 because of the outside shooting. You know, they're giving him everything that he was good at, the outside shooting and his perimeter defense, everything that he was good at, he would be able to excel much more in today. Maybe people are going to disagree with me when I said he'd be better today, but I just think the way the game is played today, it would really suit him, because he was a guard playing in a league of giants, all these great centers, and now it's all about the guards. So he'd be a top 5 player in the league, no doubt. So what do you